The Message of Geoffrey the Great, Chapter 4. The man called for the portcullis to be raised long enough for the young lady to be let through, and when she passed, the man again called for it to close. "Hurry now," said the man. "Wait, where am I taking her?" Geoffrey asked. "To safety, back to your lord's castle," the man responded. "Here, take this with you. Now go." The man handed another scroll to Geoffrey, and the two of them absconded. Geoffrey quickly helped the lady onto his horse, and they left by a different path so as not to draw the eyes of anyone who might have seen Geoffrey arrive. The two of them, rather than travel on the path that Geoffrey had used, moved through the thick forest with the path in sight so as to make sure they were moving the right direction. After a long silence between the two, the young lady finally spoke. "I have a brother named Geoffrey. He went to fight Rodolphus when he attacked a few weeks ago. I don't know where he is now." Geoffrey felt vulnerable now. This person who shared his name could have been someone from his own village, or even Geoffrey himself. He looked at the lady. "It must be hard, not knowing if he is okay." "Very hard," she replied. The silence returned, and they walked for some time until they heard something from deeper in the forest. "Stop," the lady whispered. "Someone is here." They both stood silently as they heard a whistling. "Come," said the woman, "we need to keep moving before this person knows we're here." It was too late. One man, and then another, emerged from the trees and stopped when they saw Geoffrey and the lady. "What's this, John?" said one of the men. "It looks like a couple of peasant kids," said the other. "Let's see if they're lost. Are you lost, children?" "I am not a child," replied the woman, "and you are stopping us from a very important event. We will be on our way now." "Just a minute," the first man said. "You wouldn't happen to have any shillings to share, would you? We're awfully hungry." "I'm sorry, but you will have to get your money elsewhere. As you can see, we are just peasants and not accustomed to carrying specie. Now please leave us alone so we can get to our destination." "You are in quite a hurry, young lady," the second man said. "I suspect that if your presence at this event is as important as you say, you must have the wealth to match. Give us what you have and we will leave you alone." "You're bandits," Geoffrey accused. "The boy finally speaks," said John. "Well, boy, we've been called worse. Now what is that letter you hold? Maybe a contract or a deed? Let me see it." "No," Geoffrey replied. "I like your spirit," said the as yet unnamed man, "but you don't have a choice." As the man approached Geoffrey, the young woman stepped in front to stop him, and the man threw her down to the ground. "Get out of the way," he said. When the man reached to take the scroll, Geoffrey kicked upward and landed a foot right into the chest of the man, who dropped to the ground. "Ah!" he cried as he tried to catch his breath. He coughed for a moment before attempting to get up. "That was a mistake, young man," he said. John approached quickly, but the lady tripped him so that he too fell to the ground. Quickly, she grabbed Geoffrey's hand. "Run!" she yelled. The two of them began running while the men, both oversized and cumbersome, tried to stand. "Stop," said John, but by the time Geoffrey saw them stand up to begin the pursuit, they were already out of sight. Their pace had slowed, but they were still walking briskly. They decided to take the main path to avoid more bandits, and, after just a few minutes, still stunned from their brush with the men, they realized that they could hear the men. The men were yelling at each other, and their voices were not far. The two of them began to run again when one of the men, who must have caught a glimpse of them, yelled at the other. "I think they're close," said one. It was then that Geoffrey heard the same noise he heard on the way to the castle. "Come with me," he told the woman. The two of them entered the forest, and the sound of rushing water filled their ears. The river was dangerously swift, but Geoffrey carefully led the lady part way down the bank, and both lay with their stomachs to the earth and waited, hoping the men would not look there.